Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Male Perspective. I am your host, Lana Reid, and today I am so happy, so excited. I have the pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Jim Ellis. He is an award-winning playwright, an author, and a videographer. Jim, welcome to the show. Thank you for hanging out with me today.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I appreciate it.
You look confused. Did I say everything right? Did I get your resume?
No,
Did I miss?
it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Did I miss something?
Oh, there's so much, but no, that's plenty. That's plenty.
I like to give everybody their accolades. So if I miss something, please let me know. I think the people on my show are so awesome and they do so wonderful things. So, please let me know if I forgot something.
No problem.
Okay.
That's great.
So I want to start off. This is the male perspective, and you have a lot of male perspective. You actually belong to an organization called MDI, Mentor, Discover, and Inspire. And that's strictly for men. So, people like me, we just can't hang out with you guys. But I want you to tell me more about that. Give me a sneak peek in if I can, because, us ladies, we're nosy. So.
I love it. Yeah, Mentor, Discover, Inspire. It's an organization, an international organization that basically supports men to be successful in ways in career, families, and communities. So it's not like women are or families are excluded. They're part of the vision that we have, so that we can get together, have weekly meetings, focus on really becoming the best man we can be for our women, for our family, for the community, just to boost the community, really. And it's really a very high purpose that we hold, and it's part of our mission to be successful for careers, families, and communities.
Now, how long have you been with them?
Oh my! So I did a weekend seminar, experiential, in November of 1997. And then right out of that experience, we go through another program called a Point program, where we're joined together with everyone who's completed that weekend to become a team. And what's interesting, there's a lot of men's groups, there's women's groups, but how many times do you hear someone talk about a men's team? So a men's team is a little bit different than a group. A group is something like, okay, we're going to have a group Monday at 7:00. If you can make it, great. If not, oh well. Whereas a team, everybody matters. Like if you think about a baseball team, left fielder,
yes.
Oh, left fielder, you can't make it. We won't have a left fielder this time. No. So I've been part of a team, a men's team, since, well, I guess at the end of 97.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Many years, but it's just a part of life. Like I believe that this is a very natural way of being for boys, for example. Like when boys are growing up, they have their little pack, the boys they hang out with, they learn things. Hey, how do you put a baseball card into a spoke,
Yeah.
I'm not saying females don't do this, but I'm not speaking for females right now.
That's true.
The boys, from a boy, I remember like having my little pack of friends, I can even name them off. I bet you our audience, I imagine females have this as well. Like they can remember their little pack they had growing up. Jamie Jordan, Scott Hellstrom, Clete Hudgens. I mean, these are names from the past, right? So it's a natural way of being where we have our little packs that we can learn to grow together as our gender. And so for me, it's just a very natural way of being that we have that, and I still have it. And I don't even think about how many years I've been involved. It's just a natural state now.
It's become awesome. Now you've thrown out some concepts that I know from a woman's perspective, that cause us some frustration, and that the term boy, the term man, because sometimes what you have is a man who might be physically in age a man.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going, right?
Oh yeah.
You know where I'm going. But mentally, emotionally, he's maybe on the boy spectrum. So what is the difference between boy and man? How does a man evolve into because I'm pretty sure MDI does all of this. How does this work out? Make our lives easier, Jim. Come on.
No, actually, that's a very good point. I do think a lot of our culture is suffering because of men who have not been guided to have mentorship or an initiation into manhood. Now, there's certain cultures from the past that did have initiations, you know, at a certain age, like 12, 13, and there's still some even like religious organizations that have initiations where now you are a man, where I think in the society of today, there's not this initiation. There's not a from point A to B. I mean, you could say, oh, when I got a car, or when I first had sex. I mean, are these initiations into manhood? It's not really. It's not a community of other men that are taking care of the young men to make sure that they are guided through a process where they realize, yes, now you are. Now I'll throw some words out that I think belong to a man as opposed to a boy. Now you are responsible, you know. Now you are mature. Now you can take ownership. Now you can, own, your life, and you don't have to rely on the outside forces to tell you what you need to do. You really take it on yourself, and that's empowering. I think every man, every human wants to be empowered in certain ways, but the boys of today and the young men of today have not been empowered. I think they've been disempowered. And so I think adult men need to really own that they are responsible. It definitely would help relationships, like you're talking about relationships with women. Does a woman want to be with a man who's like irresponsible, breaks his word, doesn't show up, isn't a stand-up guy? They don't want that. I don't believe a woman would want that. I know that deep down in every man, I believe there's that seed of honor from, the honor book, the seed of honor, which is truly stepping up, being his best, and being a success, not just for himself. That's the key thing, not just for himself, but for others. And if you look around, who are the others? Family, wife, girlfriend, children. And then beyond that, you've got the neighborhood, the society. And then beyond that, you go to humanity. And now we're really playing in the game.
Awesome. So I'm wondering, MDI, it seems like it would be something that young boys need to kind of transition into. Do you guys work with young men, or is there a certain age bracket to belong to MDI?
Yeah, to do an initiation event or a weekend, I believe it's 21 or 22. But there are related organizations that we work with that do attend to the young men. We have the Young Men's Ultimate Weekend. There's different young men weekends that the adult men would facilitate. Okay. And then I just happen to also belong to another organization called Boys to Men, which is a national organization. They do great work where they go into schools. They have groups inside of schools where young men can be in circle up and be together and just talk about what they might not be able to normally talk about other places. So there is that. And I just want to say that the big issue at play right now in our society is that we're really starting to feel the results and the impact of fatherless homes. Fatherless, people might think, well, there's been times where, do we really need a father in the home? Is it really that important? There's a lot of single mothers, and I'm not commenting on single mothers and what they do. I mean, that's miraculous what they're able to accomplish. However, there's still an impact, I believe, of not having a father in the home. And we're starting to see some of that impact, which is, outlined in books like The Boys Crisis by Dr. Warren Farrell and John Gray. So the impact is a lot of just trouble for young men, learning, being educated, being boosted up, feeling inspired to do their best. There's drug addiction, even suicide with young men today. And we have to really think about that as well.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm there with you, because I think if you don't have a male mentor to show you growing up, some of the things that you mentioned, how to be responsible, how to treat a female who might potentially be your future partner in life or whatever, these are lessons that only another male, an elder male, can probably direct and guide you in. And we're seeing less and less of these father elder figures available for these men to learn for. So it's creating some of this chaos that we're seeing today. So I'm there with you.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, because I know for myself, and maybe you could talk for the female perspective, but for myself as a male, when I have the I want to say admiration, but that sounds like an odd word, but that could be used. An admiration, a confidence, a pride from another man, just like having that from a father. When a father provides a young man guidance, pride, encouragement, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. You get this, there's like this confidence in life that appears as you move forward, as you take steps in the world. Somehow there's more confidence. There's a backbone. There's a strength that is there. I believe for men. I believe as well there must be some benefit that I wouldn't know for a female. Like, what does a female get out of having a father that's like, you know what, I'm really proud of who you are? Like, what does that give a female? I don't,
you know, I mean, and I'm thinking, now that you mentioned that, I'm thinking back what I've heard continuously growing up, because you know, I'm 50 years old now, but what I've heard now is more so guys saying, I wish my dad had came to my game. I wish my dad had said, you know, he appreciated, I wish my dad. I don't really hear that dynamic so much with girls, because I guess we tend to cling more towards our mother figures, but not to say that the father figure is not important to a female, because that's really how you learn a lot of your experience about how a man is supposed to treat you. But that source of pride, that source of confidence, that pat on the back, reflecting back, I more so heard boys when I was growing up, even young men, even men today, like, you know, I just really wish my dad had been there, or he came, or he didn't work, or he took off, you know. So I think it's really, really important for, you know, guys to have that.
yeah. I think what's happening now is a lot of young men, they're turning to, well, besides, because of technology, they're turning to video games. Besides that, they're turning to gangs. Like, they're getting their self-esteem and their boost from gangs, who the gang members, they might look like they're there for you, but if the crap hits the fan, boom, they're most likely and often they're gone. They're not really backing you up. So there's like this false sense of support that is out there, and it's really hurting our
false sense of a team, because you mentioned the word team. So it's the false sense of a team. So there you go. Now, true. I want to ask you that, because you said that you have been with MDI since 1997, correct?
Yes. Now,
taking a moment to reflect, the man that you are today, he's chuckling. Why?
Well, I know where you're going. So it's
the man that you are today, what changes have you seen? How do you feel that MDI has impacted you? How are you a different man 1997 to the man in 2019?
Wow, that's a great question. I love that, because a lot of times you don't see progress in yourself until you look back and go, even like a week ago or a month ago. I've been through a lot of different leadership positions in MDI. There's a lot of potential for that. In fact, we encourage leadership, you know, you take leadership roles. So like team leader and things like that. So when I first did my men's weekend in 97, all my friends were females. I could relate to females, like, yeah, female, you know, like the depth, the emotion, the sensitivity. I'm a writer, so I could really like, yeah, females, that's the, and then men were, oh man, they're boring. There's nothing to them. They're so one-dimensional. So then I realized, wait a minute, if I have this negative viewpoint of men, and I'm a man, ergo, therefore, I must have a low impression of myself as a man. So now, you know, so you flash forward and you look back, you realize, I see the beauty in men.
Okay.
I see, and that's maybe an odd word to use, but I see the, this kind of goes beyond words, this care, this depth, which I did not see before, of this wanting to contribute, to give, to support others and being their best. You know, it's also the community that I surround myself with.
Okay.
But for myself, I have so much more confidence, and I'm definitely happier. I get so boosted up. I have more clarity on what I need to do, and how I need to speak up, and how I need to be more direct and more swift in my communication, where I might delay in the past. This is all like nuances that I'm just coming up with as But it's also the realization of who I need to be in relationship with women.
Okay.
Because I just become like just their friends. And there was like a confusion of who I needed to be. I would always be heartbroken after every relationship that I had before I did the men's weekend. And when I just, as I was sitting in the weekend, I was like just floored with this information I was getting, like, oh, okay. Like I didn't even think of that, but it seems so true of how I needed to be. I didn't really know who I was, or like defining myself, where I stood, and I would allow myself to lose myself just to follow the female. Like I'll just follow her and whatever she needs. I thought it was important just to give the woman what she wanted, whatever she said she wants. So I didn't even know where I began, where I ended. So now I really know like where my terms are, who I am. And I think a woman actually would want that. They would want their man to know who he is and not just do whatever.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, nobody.
To it, but I'll keep it at that.
So, are you in a relationship now?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay. Does she notice or say that she's noticed the improvements?
I think one thing she would definitely notice, and I think she's mentioned it before, is when I go to my team meeting, because we have a weekly meeting. We get together for 3 hours once a week. I might go to my team meeting. I might be in a certain mood, but when I'm with my men, and we delve deep into like what our barriers are, what keeps us from being successful. Maybe get emotional, get some emotions out, some emotions that I don't think women would. They may say they want to see, but they wouldn't really want to see the depth of how much energy and rage and fire can come out of this belly. They don't really want to see it, but they might say, yeah, show me how you really feel. But then if you really show them, then they're like, I've had that experience. So when I go to the team meeting and then when I come back, on my way back, I am so full of something that men, I think, can give to other men, which has to do with confidence. This joy comes out of me and I just want to tackle her and kiss her. And it's just like,
she's like, go to another meeting, do that again.
It must be a daily meeting. But I am blessed. I mean, some women I've heard they're not as supportive of their men going away to this secret thing. Like there's almost like a concern, like, why is it secret? Why is it confidential? Why can't I know? I think they feel shut out. I think women sometimes feel shut out of a men only kind of gathering. Whereas if they see the benefit that when men take care of men and then they come back and they can be more confident, more loving, more present, just take the gift.
Now you mentioned that in MDI, there are some concepts, attributes called the mature masculine. Could you run those by me, please? Because I got my paper and I got my pen.
It's funny. What happened is we have different divisions throughout North America and parts of Canada. So we have I'm in San Diego.
Okay.
We have a San Diego men's division. And our division coordinator decided, let's focus on the mature masculine leader, so that we could focus on that. And then we could have all of our members look at that and kind of as benchmarks. Are we raising to that level? Are we not? Are we falling short anywhere? Now, this is not a definitive list, and it's something that was created by the what's called a core team. The division coordinator's core team has like maybe 5-6 men that are on his core team, and I'm one of them. Okay. And so I gathered all 120 attributes listed from the men saying, let's define mature masculine.
Okay.
And what I did is I brought it down to 20.
Oh, 20.
Okay. If it's okay, just to read a few, because I don't want to
okay.
too much. Here's a few of them. See if you recognize this for your male audience in yourself, or for your female audience in your man. This man holds a no problem attitude. So
no problem attitude.
Yeah. So imagine something's going haywire in the house or in your life, and he holds a no problem. You know what? we're going to take care of this. It's no problem. He doesn't get all like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So the mature masculine holds a no problem attitude in his life.
Okay.
Another one is that he keeps his word and he holds integrity high.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever been around someone, I guess anyone, and they break their word, they're like, yeah, I'll be there at 5. And then they're there at 6:10.
Mm.
And they don't say anything about it. It erodes the trust. You start wondering, should I ever ask him for a favor?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's a lot of times unsaid. People don't speak up.
Yeah.
And it gets
Yeah.
all weird. But for the mature masculine, he basically keeps his word.
Okay.
So another thing is he does not carry grudges.
Okay.
He clears any grudges with others swiftly and directly. So a mature masculine leader, you know when you're talking to him, he's not in the back of his head going, oh, I remember when you did that. He clears things swiftly and directly. So that's
Okay.
another thing. Just a couple more. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I just want to pick out some ones that are real. Oh, here's one that I love, this one, because this is where you start living on a team level or family level. It depends on if you belong to a collective. You know, if you're not just a hermit and you live with other people, you serve others selflessly and you expand from what can I get to what can I contribute.
Awesome. Awesome.
So if you've ever been around someone, oh, it's even a meme now where they say, what's in it for me? It's like the latest marketing. What's in it for me? So it's all these self-absorbed bubbles floating around the
Yeah.
universe, just taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
When you're around a mature, and we'll say mature masculine leader, he doesn't think, what can I get? He thinks, what can I contribute? And how can I serve? Oh,
Okay.
it's great being around these. So one more. Oh, I'll read the last one, number 20.
Okay.
For our mature masculine leaders in our division, we say that this man is respected by other men and he's the leader who is followed. It is so, from my experience, to have the trust of other men where when you say, okay, we're going to go do this event, we're going to do this community service, and they follow you, that is the boost that you get from that trust. Not just the trust, but also the fact that they will follow you into some activity, some community event. That it just gives you so much. And it's a sign that you have reached this a sense of leadership. By definition, really, people are following you. You're a leader.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
there's a few of the top 20 that I came up with for our
Okay. Okay. Now you have a book called The Honor Book, and I was reading some of the blurbs in it, but it seems to have some principles or some concepts that kind of align with MDI. So first of all, can you tell me about the book or what's in the book?
Yeah. So what came up is as my time in MDI, I realized I keep repeating myself over these certain topics as a leader, as a teammate. And I thought, I just got to get this down on paper. So a lot of the things I learned by being on a team, by raising to the level higher than individual, higher than relationship, but going to a level of team. And you can do that anywhere, you know, if you're part of a family or part of a band or co-workers, when you rise to that level of team, there's certain things that you learn. And so I put it all in a book called The Honor Book. It talks about integrity. It talks about living at a higher level. It talks about maturity. And I have some fun in there too, you know, making fun of the immature male, you know, the one that would complain, the one that would talk behind people's back, the one that would get all flustered and problem mode. So I basically, in this book, and one of the gentlemen that's in MDI, his review was, every man in the world should read this. In it, I just put all the different concepts together and just really fine tune how important it is to keep your word. Like, I mean, you can drill down just on the impact of keeping your word versus not keeping your word. And that's where I came up with the idea of saying you reclaim, what is it? You reclaim the honorable life for your power, your success, and your freedom. And those are interesting, you know, how does keeping my word make me successful? How does it make me free? I put it all together in this book to describe how, and to really show a pathway where men can feel good inside of themselves. Because here's the truth. If you are breaking your word, if you are not being your word, which has been men's bond in the past, you might think, oh, I'm not really bugging anyone. It's okay. It's okay. You can pretend, you can believe your own BS on that. But the truth is you are breaking a part of yourself in pieces. And if you don't mend that, then you cannot walk a path of success, and you will not be free, and you will not be inspiring to others. So that's the real backbone of the book, is keeping your word and the power of that.
Great advice. Great advice. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. So let's play pretend here. Let's say you have a new guy that has just joined MDI, and he happens to be my husband, right? And he comes to you one day, he says, Jim, I'm having some problems at home. Lana, she doesn't like me hanging out with you guys. She's like, why does it have to, what's going on over there? Can you just stop by the house for a minute, Jim, and explain to her why, as a woman, it's best for her to let me do this and hang out with you guys and grow and be a better man? What would you come over and say to me? Lana, you need to let him hang out with us because why?
Oh, what would a man say to the wife?
What would you come over to my house and say to me? Say, Lana, you need to let your husband hang out with us because.
Oh, what we've done in the past is, like, sometimes we like to do like little surprise things, not for any other agenda, but to uplift in some way. We've gone to a man's house. Maybe it's their anniversary or something, or a man will, in the circle, will say, hey, it's my anniversary. Can you guys come over and like sing our favorite song to us? Or maybe when we're out at the restaurant or something. We've done little surprises like that. But what really helps is to thank the wife. Thank you for, basically having the structure be so that the man can be out of the house, and that you're taking care of business, taking care of the house in those moments. Maybe there's kids involved. First of all, number one, appreciation for creating a structure and a space so that the man can be out of the house once a week, which is a lot these days to be out of the house one day a week. So there's appreciation. And then we like to honor the man in front of the wife or girlfriend.
Awesome. Okay.
And so we say, we just want to let you know that this is how we see, your man and what he's been able to give to us. So the wife or the girlfriend can see the benefit that he's getting, and he's boosted up right there in that moment. And there's nothing like being boosted up in public too. Like, it's just, there's something about that, and it's a good feeling all around.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I guess he can hang out with y'all for a little bit then.
Okay. So what's your address?
So we're going to do my random question of the day, and then you're going to let everybody know how they pick up your book and, connect with you and all of that stuff. But we're going to do our random question, okay?
Okay.
All righty. Should you put your socks on first or your pants?
This is a should. This is like what should be, not what do I actually do, but what should be done by all the people on planet Earth. It would be, well, definitely, let's see, it should be socks. It should be socks.
Socks on?
Yeah, that's because, if you have to run outside for an emergency.
You got no pants on but socks?
But see, you're taking care of your feet, which is important. Like, somebody could see your underwear, who cares? At least your feet, which you need for the rest of your life, are taken care of. This is like the 8th time I've been asked this today. But that's what I got for the 8th time. There you go.
Okay, socks first. Jim says everybody socks first, okay? All right, Jim, let everybody know how they pick up your book, how they connect with you. If we got some guys out there that want to find a team to, join up with, let us know everything.
Yeah, I think it's easiest just to give one location
to
reach me. I'll just point them to my website, which has a contact page, so you can reach out to me. The website also has product. So the honor book is there, and other books are there as well. So besides my movie stuff, but anyway, it is the website is legacyproductions.org. So it's plural, legacyproductions.org.
Okay, awesome. So if you happen to be at a team meeting and you see some person with a trench coat on and glasses and a hat pulled low trying to sneak in, you'd be like, I bet you that's Lana trying to get in and see what we're doing.
As long as he's wearing socks.
I got socks on. Jim, I thank you so much for hanging out with me and the information, the valuable information that you shared today. I wish you much success and just amazing points that you shared with me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Yeah, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Awesome. That concludes this episode of The Male Perspective. I am your host, Lana Reid, and I will see everybody next time.